Hello, in this video I'll show you how you can use geometry to create a color ID map for your object here. So let's just say I'm making a game asset here in Moai 3D here. Here's the high poly, here's the low poly here, just some basic boxes here. So one thing I can do is actually use geometry to help me to set up my colors, my color scheme here. So for example, if I look at this, I can make a copy beforehand so I don't get rid of the low poly here. So I can just hold Control and make a copy of the low poly right here, and I can use this. So for example, what I can do here is just select these polygons here, these faces, alright, and then just Control C, Control V, there we go. I can go into offset and just have it go further a little bit. So this is 0.1, this is 1, it's just going to determine how far away it goes here. So let's just use 0.1 here. Done. All right, I can select this and just maybe just isolate it here, or I can select these and just use my hotkey Alt X to activate transparency mode. There we go. All right, so I can just, let's say, go into the front viewport here, and I can just, let's say, create two rectangle curves, one to cut away the top and another to cut away, let's say, a little bit of the bottom right here. And I can select this and Boolean and difference all this away right here. Alright, I'll just press Alt X again. So for the color scheme here, let's say I want green and orange or green or red or something like that. So I will just make this green here, although the color doesn't really matter here. You can have any colors. You just want them to be different here. So I'll just make this yellow gold red here. Alright, there we go. So one thing that always works well is some good old caution tape right here. So what I can do is select this right here and just, let's say, Control C, Control V. Alright, and then I can, let's say, use a line right here. Alright, select it and offset. Alright, and then I can maybe move this a little bit here. Alright, and then transform array, directional array. Alright, and get this right here. Alright, I can select this and Boolean all this away right here. And delete that. Alright, so now I've got this right here. Alright, I will select the original object here and delete this face here. There we go. So now we have this right here, and I can give it the gold material here as well. Alright, so there we go. So let's say, for example, that a lot of details are easier to create with geometry as opposed to having to color them in and use various painting tools here. So if I want the other side here, that's just as easy as deleting this and then selecting and then transform, mirror, object snap, choose a midpoint here. Alright, now I'll create a different detail here. Let's say I'll just select these faces here. Alright, let's see something like that, and then just offset. All right. I may want to just join this here. There we go. Make it a joint surface. All right, and I can just create some sort of line here. Alright, then I will select this and mirror. And join. Alright, there we go. And maybe do a little fillet right here. Alright, and then Boolean away. but I want the top side to stay, not the bottom side. So what I would do here is just finish up the line here to give a volume right here, or to have this be a closed curve, and then I will boolean again. There we go. So now I got this right here. I can maybe add a different detail here. All right, there we go. So now I may want to give this also the green color. All right, there we go. So just this kind of detail right here. All right, so then I'm going to export this, all of these as OBJs, making sure that I'm going to position them in the middle again to export them. So here are my three objects, the low poly and high poly. And I give them both just a standard gray material right here. And here is what I want to use for the color ID map here. Now when you're setting up your materials and colors for the color ID map, you can really give them any color you want here, purple, red, but in this case I will give them the same colors I want to color them in Substance Painter here. So for example, I want this to maybe be some sort of dark green here, some sort of military green. Right, maybe something like that there, and apply. Alright, and the rest of them will be some sort of orange. Alright, there we go. That's a nice color combination here. So here in Substance Painter, I'm just going to Texture Set Settings, and then Bake Mesh Maps. Let's make the output size 2048 here, and match by mesh name, a little bit of anti-aliasing here. I will select my high poly first, and I will also just turn off the ID map here, ambient occlusion here. I'll just self-occlusion only, say mesh name here, and I will bake. And here is my bake. And now I also want to prepare my color mask as well here. So what I would do is just copy this name right here. I'll just use ob1_high, and pretty much in order to mask rename objects here, I can just open up the Layer Explorer here. I can select, let's say, both of these objects here, and then right click and then rename here, and just paste it right there and rename. And now they both have ob1high, ob1high. Alright, and then I'll do the same for the bottom object here, which is called ob2high. Alright, and I will select this right here, hold Alt and left click, deselect this, and now I'll simply paste this new name right here, ob2high, rename, and there we go. And now I'll export this as an FBX as well. So now I'll go into Bake Mesh Maps again. I will turn off everything except the ID, and I will delete this and import the second object with the different color geometry. And I will also make sure that the color source is the material color right here, and I will bake again. Alright, there are no visual changes here, so what I will do is just go back to layers, delete layer 1 here, and let's have some sort of painted steel material here. So let's just use steel painted, drag this in here, open this up, and I will go to the base right here, actually the paint right here. Alright, and for the base color, what I would do is just go into project right here, and this is my color map right here. As you can see, it's green and orange here. I will simply drag this into base color, and there we go. Here is our color scheme without us having to kind of recreate it ourselves. Here we pretty much just use geometry to create this effect right here. So this doesn't work for everything here, but there are some situations where it's easier just to create geometry that will help you to color your object faster here and create this nice color scheme here, especially in very complex objects here. You already got the geometry set up here, maybe using a CAD program, and it's very easy just to cut away objects and pieces and get your final color scheme right here. In this situation, it may not be the best idea because it seems that the normal map details and the paint being chipped away kind of make the color map difficult to read here. But this is a good way to quickly get your color scheme just by using geometry. Thank you for watching, and take care.